What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're going to talk about The Singers. This is a Oscar-nominated short for narrative short, not documentary or animated, for this coming Oscars. That one that's coming up that I'm getting you ready for. It's been streaming on Netflix for a while. I haven't quite gotten around to it until now, because what's the point of getting around to it after the Oscars? So, theretofore. I have to be careful not to go too long because this is a 17-minute short, so my review should not surpass the actual thing of which I'm reviewing. I believe that with everybody who ever does anything ever, we all need to at least come in under the runtime. So it has audio description from Stephen Christopher, written and it's produced by International Digital Center, narrated by Sri Gordon. So what it is it's basically a grouping of men at a bar who a little wager is put out there about singing and who the best singer is, and it starts as sort of kind of a little bit of a lighthearted jest, and then sort of turns into like a full kind of like power ballad um sing off, with everybody having sort of their own different genres, and surprisingly, the denizens of the bar being quite uh, above adequate at singing. So while it's not about this, the way that I took it and appreciated it was almost like it's kind of morbid, but death. So I appreciated it in the form of imagine if there was like an afterlife, or even like a place in between, and you're like waiting, because we've seen all these films like Eternity recently where it deals like, sort of like an interesting thought about death. What if there was a place and there's this bar and the singers keep showing up? Because there was one guy who was in like military fatigues. There was another guy who had like a hospital bracelet on him. There were like little things that the audio description was picking up that made me think like, okay, so each one of these people has something different happening for them, and they're all kind of here. And what if these are all like, this is the bar that singers go through, like people who identify as singers, and as they pass through in the afterlife, or pass through onto the afterlife as they're waiting to for something else, they're all kind of in this bar waiting for whatever the next thing is. And because the blend of the different genres of music is one of the highlights of this, it's not, otherwise it's kind of just a light, fun, I don't know, uh, ensemble short that doesn't really carry a bunch of weight to it, and maybe could get a nomination. It's sort of impressive because the person who made it wore multiple hats for it, so they did sort of everything. And the talent is presented, certainly. The singers, once they really get into it, once you start hearing the voices, I mean, he went out and found some really tremendous singers. They're all recorded well. It didn't sound, like a poor sound level for this, so it's recorded at a professional level. I'm intrigued as to, oftentimes short directors, especially the Oscar nominated ones, end up getting offered features. Sometimes you'll see a film that was a short and then was expanded into a feature. So I would be curious to know what the feature length version of this would be, and or what this director would do future. Like, do they want to direct musicals? Is this what they want to do? Is this like a proof of concept for them to the industry of, look, I can direct a musical and my original Oscar nominated short proves it? So I don't know, but I thought it was well directed. I don't think I'll remember it. I don't think it's not overly memorable, but sometimes with these shorts, it's not always about them being the most memorable. Oftentimes they end up going with the ones with the high production value, and a couple times we've been going for ones that have honestly a little bit higher caliber behind them than necessary, like a Wes Anderson directed short, um, or shorts that feature major stars in them. So I, perhaps somewhere along the way, it lost the initial um, point behind the category. But this is fine. I don't have a problem with the singers. I enjoyed it just in the audio description. Stephen Christopher, Sri Gordon, they do lovely work here. So the singers, yeah, it's fresh because I can't think of a single reason why it shouldn't be, but I just don't like love it. I kind of love my version of it a little bit more when I try to put some more weight into it, like a what if this was this in it, but that's not what it is. So I can't give it all that weight in the world. Um, I don't review a lot of shorts, so trying to come up with a actual number value for this is sort of unfair because I like what am I comparing it against? Am I comparing it to features? That doesn't make any sense. So I'm just gonna go with fresh for right now, and I'm not gonna put a number value on it because I don't have enough reviews of enough shorts to sort of aggregate a grade. If I'm grading it, it's because I'm grading it based on the overwhelming amount of features or the overwhelming amount of TV shows that I watch. If I was somebody that was heavy into short films, I would have a better weighting system to put this up against, but I don't. So we're just going to say fresh. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.